Monster Hunter
Sure.
now, let me tell you, look at me, hey, capturing mobile game footage on my bus
Can you
ride
believe
to work.
this poor iPhone is screaming in the background? It's just like, release
just-
me, please.
Just for context, I don't know why it's got my time and my battery power on the top right. Sorry, that shouldn't be there. But for those of you who don't know, Monster Hunter has a mobile version now called Monster Hunter Now, made by the very same people who brought you Pokemon Go and Niantic.
Oh, this game looks good. Holy shit.
Let me tell you, Monster Hunter Now, it's, the mobile version, and it is surprisingly very good.
Oh, look at this combat. What is this? This is nuts.
So I installed Monster Hunter Now thinking like, I'm just going to have a look at it. It'll probably be like a quick little distraction, but boy, does it make me just want a new Monster Hunter, because it's got all of the good stuff you'd expect from a Monster Hunter, but in your hand.
Sure.
So for those of you who've not, well, I suppose not for those of you who have not played, if you've played Pokemon Go, you know that I suppose this applies to both. Anyways, Pokemon Go, when you open up the game, it uses real world data and maps to like populate with Pokemon. There'll be gyms and random Pokemon at certain points around the map. Monster Hunter Now uses the same premise, in terms of the key locations or landmarks, whatever, but instead replaces them with monsters and collection points. So the premise is you're going to walk around the map, you walk around in real life, stumble upon a monster, tap it. Instead of like Pokemon Go throwing a ball to catch it, you can now fight the monster because, it's Monster Hunter. It's a different game. But they've kept all the good tropes and features of Monster Hunter, in that what is the basic loop of a Monster Hunter? You're a new hunter. Oh no, there's a monster. You fight that monster. You get parts from that monster. You make armor and weapons from it. Oh no, there's a bigger monster. It's that, but now done in a mobile setting where you're hunting monsters around the map and using those to, level up and find and fight bigger monsters. But what's quite cool is that I when I first saw this trailer, I was like, I don't know how the gameplay is going to translate. Purely because, for starters, Monster Hunter, a hunt takes anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, which is not suited for a mobile game. Like, you want things to be very quick in and out. And I think they've done it so well in that, again, like I'm only fighting at the stage 2-star monsters. I'm sure I can get to 5 to 8-star, the more I play, and those will maybe be a bit longer. But a battle here is like, if you're fighting a big monster, anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. So it's super quick. And what's pretty cool is that it's not like, and I'm sorry for the Pokemon Go comparisons, it's just easy to contextualize.
I mean, it's made by the same people.
It's made by the same
kind
people.
Of the same thing.
So like in Pokemon Go, you would typically throw the ball and catch the Pokemon, and that's like the basic loop. Yeah, though, I was concerned of like, well, how do you control your hunter? Like, Monster Hunter's got a lot of depth to it. But they've done it very well in that it's tap to attack and then swipe to dodge. And that's it. Your character will always automatically run to the monster, to be within attacking range. But what's quite cool is that a lot of depth from the main franchise is translated over, in the sense that, like, when you start, you've only got the sword and shield. But just like real Monster Hunter, you're going to unlock a whole lot of different weapons, which kind of act as your character class, because they all play and feel different to each other. And what's quite neat is that if you're watching me play, like, I've got poor connectivity there for some reason. But I'm playing with a longsword, and I'm seeing the same sort of, I need to use the same sort of logic that I've had in the main game, and that a longsword's like a strong weapon, but it's sort of a middle ground. Like, it's not quick to attack with like a sword and shield, but it's not slow to attack like a hammer. It's this good middle ground. I need to time my attacks and when I'm going to dodge away. But what's quite cool is that it's that same depth of, like, one of the best parts of a longsword is that you want to counter attack. So you sheath your sword and you need to time when you pull it out. And that's in this game as well. When I hold my character, they sheath their sword and I can counter attack. So it's just cool. What I'm getting is, it's quite cool that the depth from Monster Hunter is there. It's coming to mobile. And even so much so that I know I've already reached a point where I can break parts of a monster that I'll use to make different weapons. So there is incentive in, like, attacking certain, the tail, for example, or whatever. And I'm more just blown away by the fact that they've made it work so well on mobile. All that said, it is a mobile game, so there's a lot of like it's a free to play game. You know, there's going to be barriers and like egregious,
just like Pokemon Go,
and like egregious things. Like I've reached a point now where to progress my main quest, it's like hunt 10 monsters, gather from 10 points, and I do that, and then it gives me like a paragraph of dialogue to progress the main story. Then the next set of quests is like hunt 10 monsters, collect from, and it's like, okay, I get it. Like it's obviously staggering how the game is drip fed.
It's the grind, yeah.
It's the grind. And there are paid elements in that, like you get 5 free daily potions. And you know,
I was going to ask, like Pokemon Go did the Pokeballs, which is always a commodity. Do you have to purchase like whetstones for your weapons here?
So not that I've seen yet. I've only seen first aid kits, which you get 5 free a day. But I do imagine if you're playing a lot and you are taking a lot of damage, which is bound to happen, it's a monster hunt, so you're not going to dodge every attack. I think particularly as the monsters become harder to fight, I do wonder like how aggressive is it that, oh shit, like 5 potions a day just isn't enough. Like I'm going to have to now pay to get more healing
Yeah, I mean, it's
items
definitely balanced
to
a degree where you'll have to make that purchasing decision. I mean, the Pokeballs was the same. At the beginning, it's like, well, I'm drowning in these things. But then you go to like community days or like there's harder Pokemon and you like burn like 20 trying to catch one or, you know, and suddenly you've got to like purchase 100. So so they need to make money somehow.
They need to make money. Like I completely get that. But I mean, I've put in a good few hours into this already, and like my biggest takeaway is that it is the perfect little mobile distraction. Like I'm playing on the bus to work, and it's got that same thing of, you know, in Pokemon Go you can't drive because they don't want you to play and drive, so they like restrict gameplay. But the bus stops enough that I can go like, oh, there's a monster to fight. Let me fight that monster, and I'll do it. And
like you're moving too fast. You're not allowed to play this game. No.
And like I'm very keen to just keep chipping away at it, even if it is 5 to 10 minutes a day. That, you know, I want to see how deep does this game go, and it is made like it'll work very well on mobile because like Pokemon Go, they'll go, oh, not a community day necessarily, but they'll go, oh, for a limited time only, this rare monster will appear. You know, you can go fight it and get different armor pieces, and so like it's definitely got a long road of content ahead of it. I can see this working. I don't know if it'll be around as long as Pokemon Go, because I mean Pokemon Go has been around forever at this stage, but I can see it having legs to go.
And they've tried this with multiple franchises. I mean, there was I don't think Niantic did it, but there was the Minecraft one.
There was the Harry Potter
one,
which
I think they shut that down.
They shut it down, I don't know.
Didn't they do a Ghostbusters one as well?
They did a Ghost. I don't know if it was it Niantic as well? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
All I'll say is that I think out of all of the recording's over. Out of all the mobile games that I've played, kind of like Pokemon, this one I can see surviving. But again, it depends. Like I don't know what the grind is like. Like I've played a few hours and I'm having a good time, but if I hit a wall where a monster's one hitting me and I just don't have enough healing, then I feel I might fall off. But we'll see. Like I'm having a good time at the moment, so yeah.
Okay.
Monster
cool.
Hunter now.
It looks cool. Like I might actually give that a go. That visually looks kind of insane.
It's good fun, honestly.
Yeah.